As Donald Trump and Kamala Harris fight it out in the final days of US presidential polls, what do the youth of America think about these elections and the road ahead? My colleague Shubhendu Ghosh meets some bright young students in the University of Miami to document their perspective.
US elections are in their final stages before the big day of November 5th, Election Day. I have with me some young people from University of Miami, students, thinkers, and I'm here to get their perspective on how does the youth look at these elections. Will and his friends are all here. First, I'd like to learn from each one of you. As young people, what are the issues at the heart of these elections? What do you expect from the new government?
I think at the heart of this election, one of the primary issues is the affordability of housing. I think it's an issue that affects Gen Z the most, and I assume that all of us here are in Gen Z, so I want to see that definitely be focused on in the next administration. The southern border is definitely a problem as well. I wish to see that there's more security on the border.
For me, this election, I am concerned about the access to reproductive health care, especially here in the state of Florida, which is a banned state, currently under a 6-week ban. I am concerned about decriminalization of drug use as well. I'm worried about the housing crisis because there is a criminalization of houselessness, especially here in Miami-Dade County. And I'm also worried about our education.
I think what defines this election for me is issues related to gender, women's rights, access to reproductive health care, especially in Florida, which was a hub after the overturn of Roe v. Wade for many Southern women.
I agree with much of what they have already said, but another issue that I've noticed is a lot of America feels largely divided between a certain party and like a certain candidate, and like they feel attached to either side. And personally, I would like to see a more calm environment where people are just generally more friendly within politics.
Basically, I really agree with what many of them are saying about housing and also with women reproductive rights. And overall, I think that politicians need to think about what younger people really want. I feel like they don't really listen to us.
Right, so those were some great ideas that we got. Next, let's also find out what and where would you like to see America in the next 4 years. These elections, they say, are going to determine the future course. Your opinion on where America could be in the next 4 years. Paul?
As an American, I almost feel embarrassed when I see our politicians name-calling each other. And in the next 4 years, I would hope to, rather than seeing most people be proud of their party or over a certain candidate, to just be proud of America as one country.
For me personally, I would like to see in 4 years a America that is more diverse and has representatives that look more like me, that are around my age, rather than people who only care about corporations that are filling their pockets.
I want to see accountability. I want to see accountability and action taken in response to the multiple genocides across our world, in response to the state-sanctioned violence against Black and brown people, and as well here in the state of Florida, as we have seen natural disasters. I want to see our community showing up.
In 4 years, I'd like to see an America that has a citizenry that definitely keeps its government accountable, especially for its actions overseas in regards to funding Israel in their campaign in Palestine. Is something that I personally don't believe in. I want to see safer cities and overall a country that just puts American citizens first before the interests of others.
I want to see action on promises. There's a lot of things that a lot of politicians would say that will pull in a lot of not just students, a lot of people around the world in the country, and then they don't act upon it. So I would like to see action.
Thank you, each one of you, for joining us for this conversation. Great food for thought. American students talking about how they would like to see America in the days and years ahead. And I hope the leaders are listening. With camera person Jaishankar, Shubhendu Ghosh for DD India in Miami.